Hi and welcome to Online Appliance Tech. In this video we're going to show you how to replace the high limit thermal fuse and disassemble the dryer. The first thing you want to do is remove the front panel or the top panel. There's 3 screws in the back, one on the left, or right, in the middle. At the end of the video I will show you the panel and exactly where the 3 screws are. As you can see in this video, I was kind of in a tight spot so I can get a good camera angle. Let me speed things up. Okay, so just once you remove the 3 screws, you're going to slide the panel back and then lift straight up and out. Place the panel somewhere safe where it won't fall. Unplug the dryer. Once the dryer is unplugged, remove the drawer, pull out the water housing, and then you'll lift up this little clip to pull the dispenser housing out. Then you'll remove the 2 Phillips head screwdrivers. This helps hold the panel into place. Okay, and then there's usually a little screw on the right hand side right here, but in this case it was missing, but you will have one there. So remove that Phillips screw, and then we're going to clip the display off as little clips that clip into the metal housing. Just take your time and kind of pull the flip up and pull it towards you. First thing you want to do though before you do that is disconnect the wire and harnesses. Just the ones that connect to the display, because you're only removing the display. This one right here gave me a hard time, so I had to end up removing the whole control board to get it off. Most of the time you can just get it off like this, but in this case it wasn't that easy. So there's a Phillips head screw that holds the main control board on the side housing. Once you remove that screw, you can just press back on the main control board and pull the control board outwards. That way you can remove the harness that connects to the display. Okay. So like I said, most of the time you don't have to go this extreme, but in this case I had to remove the control board to get this off. So just in case you have to go that way, you know how to remove the control board. So you'll basically find the 2 grooves that the main control board housing slides into the frame. But it looks like I removed the display first. So gently remove the display. And these are little clips that you have to press together and press inwards to disconnect the wire and harness from housing. So like I said, to install or reinstall the main control board on the side housing of the dryer, you'll just press in and slide towards you to line up the hole with the Phillips. There we go. Okay, here we have two Phillips that holds the front door to the housing of the dryer. So remove those two. And now we're going to remove the front door. There's, I believe on this dryer, there's 3 Phillips head screws that hold the door to the housing of the dryer. Okay, that little clip there that I just touched, that's what holds the door into place also. So you're going to kind of bend that up to pull the door forward. Be careful when you do pull the door forward not to yank on the door switch, so don't let the door just drop forward. Hold the door as you remove the door switch. Sorry I didn't get a good view, but you will see the switch as you remove it. There it is. So just be careful with that. It just pulls right off the... And there's another clip that holds the harness to the housing of the dryer. Okay, there's Phillips screws. There's 2 on each side, so remove those screws. There's 2 tiny ones on the left and the right. And there's also going to be one in the middle. I'll show you in a minute. So this housing, you just basically pry up and out. As you see, that it's kind of clipped into the main housing. And here's the extra screw that we forgot about. Okay, there's to move these 4 screws. Disconnect the dryer sensor. Disconnect the light switch. Okay, at the bottom there's a screw that holds the air vent to the dryer. Just have to remove this one screw and that's it. Okay, now we're going to lift up on the frame, and then you'll see it'll come straight off. Make sure to clean your air vent. Make sure you have no type of debris in there. That way when you're running the dryer, it has the proper airflow. Okay, now we're going to remove the belt from the idler pulley. So you're going to pull the pulley towards your left and remove the belt from the motor pulley. Then you're going to slide the belt off, and then we'll remove the drum straight out. Okay. So this is the high limit fuse or they would say thermal fuse. There's a reset button on this fuse, but a lot of times when you reset them, they short out fairly quickly again. So I recommend just replacing them. And that's why we basically showing you how to remove or disassemble the dryer to replace the switch instead of just resetting it. So if you have a multimeter, you can check it. If it reads open line, that means it's bad. But as I resetted this one, it's showing continuity now. That's the igniter, if you ever have to replace the igniter. So this should remove the high limit. There's two Phillips screws that holds this to the burner housing. To remove the Phillips screw, you're gonna turn counterclockwise. It's good to have a little tiny ratchet or something like you see in the video to get in there. So once I remove the two Phillips heads, most of the time you can just pull these wire harnesses off the fuse, but sometimes it's not that easy. So a lot of times I can just use some type of flathead screwdriver to pry off the wiring from the fuse. So this fuse is pretty messed up, so as you'll see, it'll actually crumple into pieces, which is very odd, but it does happen. So this thermal fuse is basically a bimetal that when it gets too hot or there's a lot of back pressure, it will allow this fuse to close and not allow current to flow through. And they call it a thermal fuse also. I'm just trying to be careful not to yank the connector off the wiring. And like I said, usually it's not like this, but in this case it was. Okay, so here is a new high limit fuse. I will leave the part number and a link in the description below if you would like to purchase. So to tighten the high limit fuse into the burner housing, you turn the Phillips screw clockwise. Now to connect your 2 wires to the high limit fuse. There we go. Okay, now let's install the drum. So you slide the drum the same way as you pulled it out. The only thing I do recommend is to make sure the felt is connected to the bottom 2 wheels first, and then press or turn it into place. You know, click into place as you turn it, if that makes sense. And now we will connect the belt to the idler pulley. Try to get a better angle. So you're going to pull the idler pulley. Actually, this is the wrong way. Just a moment. There we go. We're going to place the belt on top of the pulley, and then you're going to pull it towards your left and connect it to the motor pulley. And then it connects. So it goes over the pulley and pull back to connect to the motor pulley. That's how it works. Okay. Now let's connect the tub support. First thing you want to do is the 2 wheels in the front, you want to underhook the felt at the bottom of the drum. And then pull up on the support with the 2 wheels holding the drum, and then click your sides into place. So as you'll see here, I'll turn the drum to connect the wheels into the grooves of the felt. Reconnect my door light switch, or door light. Place the screw back to the bottom where it goes. This is very important to remember because you want that heat to be pressed out to the side of the house, not inside the dryer. So you want to make sure everything's nice and sealed. Connect your dryer sensor. Now let's install the frame support. This I recommend kind of coming up under the dispenser or hooking it and then press the dispenser up. And these kind of go, you press them in and press down. Press in and down. And you can pull the dispenser forward to kind of keep it into place. So the two tiny screws go on top, or 3, and then you'll have the 2 regular screws that go on the side. One, 2, and 2 there, and we should have 1 more left. Here let's put 4 screws that holds the drum support housing. There's the extra screw that we forgot. So connect the harness back into the housing that you just installed. Now let's install the front door. There's grooves at the bottom of the dryer that clicks into the door. So once you press the door into those, you press forward, connect the door switch, and then you'll just line up the door with the housing and press forward. There we go. I recommend having a screw ready, that way you can kind of hold the door with your hip or your shoulder, and while you install at least 1 screw to hold the door. Install the 2 Phillips heads. They're kind of a more silver screw, but connect those 2 or screw them in. Now we're going to slide the harness through first and then connect the display. And just take your time on this, make sure everything's aligned before you start pressing into it. Once you see everything's in line, then you can click the top display into the housing of the display housing. Then reconnect your harnesses to the main control board. tuck them in the little places like that to keep everything kind of neat. Okay, the two long screws, they screw into the display panel and to the dispenser. And just snug them, don't worry about putting too much into them because you could crack it. Okay, so everything looks good. Now let's install the dispenser. So you have to press up on this clip and then press forward to get it into place. And then you'll just place that right in there and shut it. These are the 3 screws that I removed to remove the panel that we couldn't see at the beginning of the video. So this is a better view. So let's go ahead and test the dryer. Just remember to put the screws back on. And what you could do to make sure everything's working right, you can actually turn the lights off and you should see some type of glow that tells you that the dryer is working and the part that you replaced is correct. If the thermal fuse were open, this would not glow or ignite. I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe for more future tips and videos.